Only 3,000 followers on LinkedIn, and I've made thousands. No ads, no outreach, no viral content, just a solid personal brand with some authentic storytelling. Want in? That's what this video is about. Hi, I'm Brandon, and I'm a professional content creator for folks in the glazing and construction industries. And today I want to show you how I turned a small following into real money on LinkedIn. I don't have a big production team. I don't have fancy editing software. I don't have the best cameras. I just have some can-do attitude and a desire to learn to get better. Section 1, the power of the personal brand. Your name is your brand, even if you work for somebody else. Your digital presence speaks 1,000 times louder than any resume can. I highly recommend that you get the courage to put the camera, turn it on yourself, and just start talking. Just start talking about what you do and how you do it, document your process, find ways to give insights, and just talk about what you do. Like, that's what I did for years. I just started making videos about the glass projects that we installed. The videos just started getting better and better. Eventually I started talking about things in the videos, and that eventually led to brand deals for the hardware manufacturers and software companies within the industry. You don't need to be loud. You don't need to be fancy. You just need to be clear and useful. Section 2, how I got paid. So my very first brand deal came from me posting videos for a hardware manufacturer and tagging them consistently. My videos reached a point where they started to gain some traction and respect from other folks in the industry, and I started making the videos for the sole intention of catching the eye of the hardware manufacturers. My game plan was to essentially make the best videos I possibly can, promoting Bear & Glass, of course, promoting my skills, of course, but more importantly, giving awareness to other folks in my industry about the hardware that we use and the software that we use. So it's like a win-win-win-win situation. I'm spreading the word of good products and services. I'm also promoting my personal brand, and I'm also promoting other brands that I have not yet worked with. I do this enough times, and eventually they'll start reaching out to me. They'll start liking the videos. They'll start giving thanks on the LinkedIn profile page. And as soon as that happens, you can then go in and ask for a deal. So my very first one, I set up a meeting, a Zoom call with the hardware manufacturer, and I just simply asked if I could make videos for them and do some photography. And it was kind of a hard meeting, but the guy I was talking to is kind of strict, kind of stern. I didn't think it was going to go anywhere. So finally I was like, okay, man, whatever. I'll just move on to the next one. And then he just changed his tune. And since then, I started making more content for that client, or not necessarily content direct, but I started doing photography. And that was basically about the first time I basically tried to get work on LinkedIn and got it. And I get paid, pretty good for photography. It's part of the reason why I'm learning how to use this camera that I'm using right now, is so that I can essentially monetize those skills for the brands that I work for. So this eventually turned into social media management for another company that I work with. They essentially pay me to make content for them and manage their social media accounts. So I have a retainer deal, my very first retainer deal, by the way, where I get paid the 1st and 15th of every month, a 6-month deal. So I essentially secured guaranteed income for for at least the next 6 months. Very first time I did that. And I think it works out because now I don't have to negotiate every single video and every single picture and write individual invoices for each piece of content. I just simply have a timeline, right? So my very first retainer deal, I'm producing 1 short form video and 2 photos, posting to Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn on behalf of my client. And I do this once a week, and we both know what to expect. And what's great about this is that I can meet with my client about once a month, sometimes twice a month, and we can basically batch shoot some different projects. So he'll have me come out and take some videos or pictures of some projects that he's working on or that are complete. We'll usually try to do that all on the same day. And then what I do is I'll gather that footage and I'll write scripts on what we can talk about. And then later we can batch record all the talking head for those projects, for those individual videos. Now, what's cool about batch recording and keeping all these videos on file is that as the projects come along, right now we're essentially recording the beginning phases, but then eventually there's going to be an end, and eventually I'll get back in there to take final photos and final videos, and that'll make another video. So essentially I can probably milk 2 to 3 videos out of one project because we're capturing different phases of that project, and we can spread them out over time. And that is the beauty of a retainer deal. And you don't necessarily have to be the best in your industry. All I essentially did is the products that I'm already using using and that I already love, I just started promoting them for free. And I started making videos on LinkedIn for the sole intention to capture the eye of the social media or the marketing managers of these companies, get a good rapport with them. And then eventually you can just ask them, hey, I think I'll make you X amount of videos for X amount of dollars. And if you've promoted them enough, they'll likely say yes, because there aren't that many creators on LinkedIn. And what I found is that some of the brands, they want their content to be authentic. So although I try to make my content, as good as I can, I've been doing this for a little while. A lot of them just wanted to appear that it was recorded with a cell phone and have it appear like it wasn't paid for. But that doesn't stop me from doing my best and trying to do overkill in every aspect and just essentially under promise and over deliver. I guess that's the best advice I can give you. Whatever kind of work you can land, like let's say you work for a concrete company and your job is to design driveways or some piece or part of the industry that you work in. You likely use some kind of software or some kind of tool, and the manufacturers or developers of those softwares or those tools, they're usually on LinkedIn. So if you can just post on LinkedIn consistently and promote the brands that you already use for free, it's not necessarily promoting, it's just spreading the word because you already use those products for yourself. That's what makes it so easy, is that you're not trying to force a sales pitch like a used car salesperson, right? You're actually spreading the value that you got from said software or said tool or said service and just sharing it with the world. And eventually you can combine this content creation gig, editing, and your own personal brand, and sharing the word of the tools that you use, and just package them all into a content package, and just simply reach out to the right people at the right companies, which are all on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn, by the way, is blowing up. Don't sleep on it. I highly recommend that you jump on this. Of course, I'm here on YouTube, and I'm just simply documenting my journey as a content creator. And so far, I've made thousands and thousands of dollars from LinkedIn specifically. So I have one retainer deal here in town, but I do also share his stuff on LinkedIn. But all of my paying clients are on LinkedIn, and so I'm essentially going to double down. And I'm essentially going to document the process as it happens so that I can report back to you guys. And hopefully, if you're interested in making some money and you work in any industry whatsoever, every single person in that industry, at least the higher ups, they're all on LinkedIn. So it doesn't hurt to get your personal brand going, get the word out. That's essentially it. Just tell stories, or not tell stories, work on your storytelling, and just share the word of the tools that you're already using. It's that easy. Section 3. The secret sauce. So one thing that I've learned, especially as a sales professional, is that people are moved by stories and personality more than sales pitches. So in other words, being fake and being salesy doesn't necessarily get you very far in this day and age. And that is especially true when you're making videos and trying to connect with someone through a camera lens. If you're trying to be someone that you're not, it's painfully obvious. So self-development is going to be key here if you've never made content before. You don't need to be a professional. All you really need is a cell phone and a microphone, and away you can go. But eventually you're going to want to separate yourself from the rest of the folks that are trying to do exactly the same thing that you're doing. Good thing on LinkedIn is there's not too many of them, so it should be pretty easy to gain a lot of headroom. One thing that I specifically wanted to do is get on YouTube, learn how to use my camera the right way, learn how to talk to the camera, which hopefully I'm getting better. I think I am. And I wanted to learn how to edit videos. So far I've used LumaFusion, Final Cut Pro, and CapCut. I use Final Cut Pro sometimes, but as soon as I discovered CapCut, that was like a game changer for me because I was able to make strides in my editing. I'm not editing motion pictures for Hollywood or Discovery Channel. I'm just making content for social media. And one of the biggest social media giants in the world, TikTok, they have a software called CapCut that they made specifically to make videos for their other platform. But I actually use it to edit all my videos, including Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. I actually took a course, Master CapCut by Trevor Jones. I got an affiliate link below. I highly recommend you check out that course if you want to take this content creation to the next level, because the ability to edit your own stuff your own way when you want is one of the things that's going to separate you. Now, obviously, you can hire a video editor and that's all fine, but you're not going to know if they're any good at what they do if you've never personally edited yourself. So right now, I'm just a media company of one. I'm doing it all in my spare time, right? This is a side hustle for me, but it's starting to build up, right? And the reason it's building up is because of my willingness and my abilities to learn. So I see a lot of people out there that say that you got to post on LinkedIn like once every 3 days or once every day, twice a week. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I've been on LinkedIn for over a decade, and in the beginning, I only posted maybe once every 2 months, and slowly but surely that started creeping up. But right now, I'm most active on LinkedIn, and I post once a week. For me, I think it's about quality over quantity. So I'm not just getting my phone and staring at it and coming up with a quick edit, slapping it on LinkedIn. I'm taking my time to basically plan, script, edit these types of videos for the purpose of LinkedIn. And lately, I've been making videos specifically for LinkedIn and nowhere else. So in other words, I still do this sometimes for my employer side, where I'll make one video that's supposed to be posted everywhere. But lately, I'll actually make 2 versions of that same video, right? One video will be specifically for LinkedIn, and the other video will be a short version of that for everybody else. And I found that this has helped me stand out from other people in my industry a little bit more, because I'm taking the time and effort to learn how to use a camera, learn about composition, lighting, exposure, color grading, audio, sound effects, music, right? Like all these things, it doesn't happen overnight, but you just got to learn and try to just squish them all into your own personal brand. And that is basically the roadmap, right? That's what I did. It's working for me. I'm not doing this, I have a full-time job. I work 40 to 60 hours a week for somebody else, helping build their business and their personal brand. And I'm really good at it. I'm really fucking good at it. But I wanted to build something for myself because I have no idea what's going to happen in the future. It's like, have you ever heard the term that you're building a mansion in somebody else's backyard? Well, I got a castle in someone else's backyard. So right now I'm building a little hut, right? A little shitty ass hut with no plumbing and no windows on my own plot of land. That's where I'm at right now. But I see the potential, right? I can see money starting to come in. I'll just share with you how much I made. So it's I started my LLC in January. It's now April. I've maybe made $8,000 doing brand deals, retainer deals, and that kind of thing. And I've done it all in my free time. So you can imagine if I went full time, which, I think about it, but I'm not in any hurry. I'm just going to take my time, try to master all these skills, and just go slow, right? That's what it takes. And I'm not saying you got to quit your job and go full time as a content creator, but what I am saying is that you should absolutely start posting videos and content. Just start. That's all it takes. Keep it up, and I promise you your life will change if you just start doing that. If you found this video helpful or inspirational, please do me a huge favor, like and subscribe. And if you want to learn more about CapCut editing, you can check out any of my other videos. The primary purpose of my YouTube channel is to show how to edit on CapCut. So that's like my main thing right now. I do some camera tutorials, and the course that I took that got me to where I'm at is, of course, the Master CapCut by Trevor Jones. So check that out if you want to take CapCut seriously. But otherwise, guys, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.